you eat mullet?
Mullet?
No.
No.
No. No, I can't even stand the looks of it.
Should we eat mullet?
No.
Don't eat the mullet. No.
You're supposed to throw it.
I couldn't eat it, sorry.
No, we didn't even realize mullet was a fish. We just thought it was a haircut.
So what's become of the poor mullet? How did this proud and plentiful fish, a fish still considered a valuable food source in many parts of the world, become such a mullet non grata, especially here in Florida? Why did the mullet go from dependable staple to pitiful bait fish? How did such a good fish get such a bad name? To find answers to these fishy questions, we'll begin by exploring the mullet's historical significance throughout the world, the American South, and ultimately the mullet's importance right here in Florida. We'll examine the mullet's habitat, their migration, and why many people consider mullet from Florida's west coast to be some of the best tasting in the world. We'll witness the dramatic rise of the mullet's commercial fishery throughout the 20th century and how Florida's contentious gill net ban impacted the mullet industry, as well as the fishing communities that had netted mullet for generations. We'll look at what the future might hold for this underappreciated fish and visit with some Florida entrepreneurs that are hoping to create a mullet renaissance. So is it the mullet's destiny to be forever considered just another garbage fish? Or is it perhaps the fish of the future? Trash or treasure, the mullet is truly a tale of two fish. So what is a mullet anyway? And I'm only going to say this once, not the haircut, the fish. And not just any fish. It's the jumping fish. The mullet, a fish so ingrained into the culture of Florida that it is celebrated annually at festivals across the state. From Niceville to Matlacha,
Just throw it as hard as you can, Sean. Whoa, what a big throw. No!
to Goodland, heck, even the local newspaper in Everglades City is named the Mullet Wrapper. But what is it really? What kind of fish is a mullet?
Mullet in general are sort of torpedo shaped. They're shaped like a strong swimming fish, and of course if they're migrating 100 miles offshore, they got to be good swimmers. They've got large scales. They do have two dorsal fins, which is not that common among fish, so it tends to get them classified with other things that have two dorsal fins, barracuda being one of them, silversides being another. The number of rays in those dorsal fins can help separate the species. And the genus Mughal, which is all but one of our species, when they get, a couple inches long at least, they develop an adipose eyelid. It's I guess you'd say translucent tissue, fairly thick. Closes off part of their eyeball. You know, they can still see through it, but it's just got a smaller opening in it. But the Mughal all have that adipose eyelid. They got a very strange looking mouth. It's usually described as triangular, and the teeth are not very, not anything to write home about at all. Their teeth are very small, and they're not using their teeth for much, so that makes sense. To state the size range of mullet, you have to be species specific. Does striped mullet get bigger than the others? I believe some records would take them up to 3 feet long, but that's got to be really rare. 2 feet long is probably a normal maximum size. White mullet a little bit smaller than that, and fantail mullet are a little bit smaller than that even. You know, and that's the reason that striped mullet have been more prominent in the fishery. They're bigger, and females have a lot more roe in them, you know, so it makes more sense to harvest them.